Hello, I'm Heather Lavoie, CEO of Illum Advisors. I'm also board chair here at the New Hampshire Tech Alliance, and we are really excited to bring you the 17th Annual Product of the Year competition, online for all to see globally. Product of the Year is one of our signature events showcasing innovation based here in this great state of New Hampshire. Last year, over 3,000 event attendees tuned in to see the TU3 from MicroSystems Technologies be named 2022 Product of the Year. Of those attendees, 32% were from New Hampshire, 17% were from other states around the country, and our international viewers represented 35% of those who tuned in. Based in Claremont, New Hampshire, MicroSystems was founded by Dr. Javier Valenzuela through an SBIR project for the NASA's Johnson Space Center. The TU3 is just one of many breakthrough products in MicroSystems' portfolio as they continue to innovate on their core thermal management and micromachining technologies. As you will increasingly see, New Hampshire-based innovation has a profound global reach. Often underestimated in terms of research, development, and economic force, New Hampshire more than holds its own against larger states with pronounced economic incentives. Our favorable tax climate, fantastic airport, easy access to founders, investors, and legislators, and our quality of life that's reflected in economic, education, and health indicators position us well as a place for tech companies to headquarter, grow, and thrive. As a lifelong resident, I know I'm biased, but objectively, the fact that I can be in the mountains, at the lake, at the beach, in Boston, or parked and sitting at my airport gate at Manchester-Boston Regional Airport, all within an hour of my house, puts New Hampshire in a position without rival. Name anywhere else where that statement would be true. And that's just what the New Hampshire Tech Alliance is passionate about, connecting and growing the tech industry in New Hampshire. So whether you're watching today from New Hampshire, California, Massachusetts, Europe, or East Asia, we invite you to learn more about what New Hampshire has to offer. Now let's talk about the companies you'll hear from today. The 5 finalists who will compete for Product of the Year represent solutions for a wide variety of industries, including clean energy, medical, space, construction, and athletics. The level of advancement and sophistication in these products is mind-blowing. These are just a small fraction of innovative solutions that have come out of New Hampshire, and perhaps those of you watching online might be the next innovator to come up from New Hampshire. The New Hampshire Tech Alliance is committed to fostering innovation and is leading the effort to build a vibrant ecosystem for its members and member companies. Primarily private funding supports hundreds of New Hampshire member companies across thousands of employees here in the state. So please visit our website if you'd like to become a member, sponsor, or volunteer with the New Hampshire Tech Alliance. I want to thank Lisa King, our Product of the Year chair, the committee members, and the New Hampshire Tech Alliance staff for another successful event today. And I hope you enjoy learning more about these 5 products during the program. And with that, I'll turn it over to Julie Demers, Executive Director of the Alliance.
Thank you, Heather. We would like to take a moment to thank our sponsors that make this event possible. The financial support of our sponsors helps us create a vibrant tech ecosystem in New Hampshire, and our work is not possible without them. Our partner-level sponsors are Sheehan Finney, Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare, Whitfleet, and our champion-level sponsors are Cross Insurance, Alexander Technologies Group, M&T Bank, Hypertherm, Army Biofab, York IE, and Pivot Creative. Right now, across the street from the studio, we are hosting an in-person watch party. We would like to thank Intact Insurance for sponsoring that party. Hi to everyone who's watching from across the street. Sertronics is the cocktail reception sponsor, and Barry Dunn is a specialty cocktail sponsor of that event. Finally, you'll see the screen with our other sponsors. This event is not possible without these companies, and we're grateful for their support. Sunrise Labs, the Union Leader, Primary Bank, Robert Half Talent Solutions, our media partner, the New Hampshire Business Review, and the Manchester-Boston Regional Airport. For those of you who do not know, the Manchester-Boston Regional Airport has partnered with us to celebrate technology in New Hampshire with a New Hampshire Tech Alliance Product of the Year display located near their ticket counters. We're excited to work with Ted Kitchens and his team this year to refresh the display and recognize our past POI winners. Please keep an eye out for the display next time you fly Manchester. I want to take a moment to thank our board of directors. It is their vision, energy, guidance, and commitment to tech in New Hampshire that truly drives this organization. Thank you all. The studio that we're filming in today is run by Events United at Studio Lab in Derry. We're lucky to have the state-of-the-art facility in New Hampshire. The talented staff and cutting-edge equipment have allowed companies all over New Hampshire and nationwide to host premium-level events. We would like to thank them for partnering with us on the event today. We'll watch a short video from their team, and then Lisa King, Product of the Year Committee Chair and Senior Account Executive at Cross Insurance, will be your MC for the afternoon, and will kick off the 2023 Product of the Year event.
Southern New Hampshire University, I say congratulations.
Thank you to the people of New Hampshire for placing your trust in me to serve another term as your governor.
Good afternoon. I am truly honored to welcome each and every one of you to the New Hampshire Tech Alliance's most anticipated event, the 2023 Product of the Year Awards. Today, we gather both in person and virtually to celebrate innovation and the incredible achievements of our tech community. Before we delve into the program, there are some acknowledgments that I'd like to make. First and foremost, I extend my deepest gratitude to my employer, Cross Insurance. Cross not only invests in its employees, but also believes in the power of technology and innovation to drive positive change. Their unwavering support and commitment to community engagement have allowed me to contribute to this event. But I don't stand alone in this journey. Behind the scenes, a dedicated group of individuals has been working tirelessly all year to bring this event to fruition. These outstanding committee members and their respective employers contribute significantly to the thriving tech community we have here in New Hampshire. If you see them at Tupelo Music Hall's watch party or out in the community, please be sure to introduce yourself and thank them for all of their hard work. It's also essential to acknowledge the individuals who played a pivotal role in determining the best among the best. I'm speaking about our judges, who dedicated their time and expertise to evaluate the companies vying for Product of the Year. We aim to assemble a panel of judges that represents a diverse range of perspectives and expertise within the technology industry. Listed here are distinguished judges, each hailing from various companies and industries, such as software, finance, life sciences, manufacturing, and public relations. As we approach the product pitches, it's only fitting that we take a moment to appreciate the incredible journey that led us to our 5 finalists. The process began with a diverse array of applicants. For those of you interested in applying for next year's award, you can find everything you need to know about the event, including the application, on the New Hampshire Tech Alliance's website. The judges undertook the responsibility of reviewing all of the entries, evaluating their merits, and narrowing down the applicants to 10 semifinalists. The Alliance's criteria for this award include 3 simple concepts. First, products must have been developed in New Hampshire. Next, products must fall into the broad category of technology. And finally, products must have been newly released or significantly updated within the last year. Each of the semifinalists had to summarize the essence of their innovations within a brief 25-minute time slot to the judges. In this condensed time frame, they navigated through the complexities of the products, sharing the insights into the core functionalities, real-world applications, and the transformative impact that they envisioned. The judges were left with a deeper understanding of the innovations and the tireless dedications from the companies that fueled their development. After careful consideration, the judges narrowed down the pool of semifinalists to the 5 outstanding products that stand before us today. Finally, our finalists attended a pitch camp where they worked closely with seasoned mentors, including Matt Shapiro, Director of Investments and Strategy at York IE. York IE is a vertically integrated strategic growth and investment firm specializing in technology companies. A big thank you to Matt for helping our finalists refine their ability to captivate and inspire. Now, I want to bring your attention to a unique and empowering aspect of our celebration. In just a few moments, I promise, you will have the privilege of hearing directly from the finalists. who will only have 7 minutes each to present their products. You are not just a passive observer, you're an active participant. As you listen to the product pitches, I encourage you to engage your minds. Take note of the innovation and the impact that each presenter pours into their products. Here's the exciting part. After all of the presentations, you will have the opportunity to cast your very own vote for Product of the Year via your phone or computer. Your vote will contribute to the final decision, shaping the destiny of this prestigious award. The winner will be awarded live on stage today. Details with how to vote will be displayed at the conclusion of the presentations. As you're watching, please remember this event is live and anything could happen. Now, with the help of our sponsors, I'm pleased to introduce our 5 finalists who will be competing for this year's top award. But first, let's watch this short message from our sponsor, Harvard Pilgrim. When we return, I'll be joined by Harvard Pilgrim's very own Bill Barusa.
In life, we're all going in different directions. But even though we're different, we all want better health. Who doesn't want that? That's why at Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare, a Point 32 health company, we offer employers and members personalized guidance, from choosing the right plan to getting the right care. And all our plans support whole health for people and families of every kind. It's how we help you navigate your way to better health. This way to better health.
My name is Bill Barusa, Director, Regional Market Sales at Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare. We are thrilled to support the 17th Annual Product of the Year competition for the New Hampshire Tech Alliance. Congratulations to all the finalists, and a thank you to all those joining me to experience this competition. Harvard Pilgrim's brand has more than 50 years of trust and stability throughout New England. As a non-for-profit company, we've learned what's important in choosing a health plan. Someone who listens, innovates, and delivers the latest solutions that are right for you and your family. Our goal is to improve the quality of healthcare for people in our local communities. One way we do that is by giving back. Last year, we made over $2 million in donations across 35 organizations throughout the Granite State. Here are just a few key benefits members enjoy in Harvard Pilgrim's portfolio. A robust virtual telehealth solution, including products that have a virtual component, as well as doctor on demand for urgent care, behavioral health support, and resources to offer greater convenience and affordability. Access to wellness and health coaching platforms, as well as market-leading member perks, discounts, and savings. Some of those include vision and hearing, healthy eating, dental, holistic wellness, smoking cessation, family and senior care. On behalf of the entire team, thank you for this opportunity, and I look forward to growing and strengthening our relationship. I would now like to introduce our first finalist of the day. Please welcome Dave Carey, Chief Commercial Officer of Pristine Surgical, to kick us off with Summit, the world's first 4K single-use surgical arthroscope.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you to the New Hampshire Tech Alliance for this great opportunity. We're thrilled to be part of the story of New Hampshire, and I am thrilled as Chief Commercial Officer Dave Carey to share the Pristine story, or as we call it, Team Pristine's story. So I'll start with talking about the market that we're in. We are in minimally invasive surgery, and so for anybody that has any understanding of that, just to make sure that we're all get everybody set on the same page, if you ever hear of someone having a product or having a surgery that has to have a scope, you have your knee scoped, you have your shoulder scoped, that's the product that we're talking about. And it's the product that's right behind me here in this visual that looks like a telescope. A camera's hooked up to it, and this advance happened about 40 years ago, and it's revolutionized healthcare. Instead of big, open surgical wounds, we're now working through small keyholes like we've never been able to do before to do important surgeries, fix problems, and send people back to work faster and healthier than we've ever been able to do it before. So this has been a great advance, but we're not done. And it's not without its challenges either. So surgical endoscopes actually are considered one of the leading devices to contribute to surgical infection. In fact, a recent study was done, hang on to your hats for this, 71% of the time there's bioburden on a scope from a patient previous when it's used in a procedure, according to one study. So let that sink in for a second. 71% of the time when a scope is being used on a patient, there might be something from someone else still on it. This is a constant healthcare challenge. Surgeons and everyone are very focused on delivering the very best care that they can. We're focused on making sure that we deliver the best devices for that. So let's take it home for a minute here, right in New Hampshire. Our very own Tom Brady, some of you may remember, had knee surgery not that long ago. As part of Tom's surgery, he actually developed a surgical infection related to an endoscope. So many of you will remember, on the back end of his career, he had a knee brace on for most of that time. And the question you have to ask yourself is, what could have been? Poor Tom Brady's career was cut tragically short at 45 after only 23 years in the NFL. Imagine how many more rings he could have brought to us here in New England if only he had the opportunity. So kidding aside, infections are a very real thing. They don't happen all the time, but when they do, remember, we're operating on younger patients that are getting ACLs fixed. They want to get back on the field, and we want to help them do that as quickly as we can. So let's talk about some of the other challenges first. The big one for me is workflow for our customers. 35 steps are involved in cleaning a traditional reusable scope. So these scopes are used, washed, sterilized, cleaned, and then used again. The challenge is, and we equate this to cars a lot. The analogy, you'll hear me do it a couple of times here. The challenge here is that you've got to maintain these scopes. You've got to make sure they're in good shape, the equipment around them is in good shape, and that you're ready to go for every case. Traditionally, these procedures used to be performed in hospitals. Now they've moved to surgery centers, which is an opportunity because no one wanted to be, during COVID, wanted to have a surgery in a hospital if they could have avoided it. But now, people want to be in surgery centers outside of the hospital. We have Basque here, River's Edge. We have great facilities that deliver exceptional care and are rated among the very best in the United States. But the challenge is real. The wall behind me, you see all these trays. This is a day or two's worth of cases that people are getting ready to support. And there's people that need to do this and make sure that they do it exactly right every time without exception. So the biggest challenges that face these surgery centers are time, people, money. And we want to alleviate all of those. So that's where we come in with a single-use arthroscope here, and our product is called Summit, after the many peaks that we have right here in New Hampshire. So our mission as a company is very simple. Actually, it's to simplify endoscopy. That's why we're here. It's a very easy thing to say, but it's a standard that we hold ourselves accountable to every day at Pristine Surgical. We do not just simply say we're going to simplify things and then make them more complicated for people. We work hard to make sure that we take the work out of it so that our surgeons and our patients get efficient, consistent, and safe care every time, no exceptions. So how do we do that? We do that with a single-use arthroscope that you see here. This device actually has a camera unit built into it and a LED for light. Now, consider this. The camera that's in this is the same camera or competitive to the cameras that are currently in your cell phones. So this tech is 4K, high-spec, high-tech, ready to go to use in surgery today. This scope speaks to the box that you see behind me, and we call it in the company the box, but the term we use for the general public is it's our image processing unit. Well, our box is meant to fit in the towers, like you see behind me, for any other ASC that exists or surgery center that exists in the United States today. So we back into all of the existing systems that are out there in a way that's seamless, so our customers can integrate our technology in under an hour. So additionally, we didn't just want to stop at making a single-use device where a reusable one existed before. We wanted to look at the entire continuum of care and make sure we were truly simplifying things for our customers. We have a cloud-based platform called Pristine Connect. Pristine Connect is designed to seamlessly manage patient images, videos, and everything from cases that go to a variety of different files to manage your health care. Believe it or not, this technology traditionally is still in the 80s. People are printing things, putting them on DVDs. Does anybody still have a DVD in their house? I don't. So I'd like to think we could do better than this. And we're presenting an option It's cloud and phone-based, where people can literally move images and video where they need to go, be it health records, or even sending videos to the patient, him or herself. We save about 30–40% of costs out of the system, and we have a fully integrated sustainability program, which actually is designed to reduce landfill input because we're reducing all the cleaning supplies that are traditionally needed, and we're shooting at a $56 billion market with arthroscopes, laparoscopes, and ultimately flexible scopes downrange, right here out of beautiful Manchester, New Hampshire, in the Brady Sullivan Tower. Thanks for the opportunity, and vote early and vote often. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. I am now joined by Alliance board member and sponsor Jason Gagnon from Whipfly.
Thank you, Lisa. Whipfly's Technology and Innovation team is extremely excited to be a sponsor of the prestigious Product of the Year Award. We love seeing the incredible, innovative products coming out of New Hampshire and are proud to be part of a thriving ecosystem. Whipfly helps tech companies move fast and prepare for tomorrow by making it easier for founders and executives to focus on what matters. Our deep knowledge of the industry helps us ensure we bring the right resources at the right time. Whether it's traditional CPA advisory services, organizational performance, outsourced C-suite, or digital services, we're here to help. The next finalist we will hear from is Vijay Mangtani, Vice President at Allegro MicroSystems, who will tell us all about isolated gate drivers for electric vehicles.
Hello. Imagine waking up in the morning and going to your favorite neighborhood coffee shop. They serve great coffee. They're very popular. You have to wait to be served, but the coffee is definitely worth it. You wait for your turn. You pay for your large cup of coffee. You walk out and start sipping the coffee. That's when realization hits. The coffee cup was not filled properly. You paid for a large cup, but you only got a medium cup of coffee. Your disappointment will be definitely justified. You waited for a long time, you paid full, you didn't get what you paid for. Owning and driving an electrical vehicle has similarities. The feeling for driving it is great, amazing experience, but it takes a long time to charge it. And as you drive for long distances, range anxiety sets in. What you may or may not realize is that even though you pay for the full charge, you're not getting the mileage for the full charge. Let me explain. Take an example of a gas-powered vehicle. You're filling up the tank, and imagine that the hose is leaky, but you cannot see the leak. You pay for full tank of gas, but some of the gas leaked. You really didn't get what you paid for. Something similar happens every time you charge your EV. The electrical energy is converted to chemical energy and stored in the battery. Every energy conversion process has inherent losses. It's physics, you cannot avoid it. So now you paid for electricity at a full rate, but you only stored part of the energy into your battery. Now going back to the example of gas vehicle, imagine the fuel line connecting the tank to the engine was leaky. Again, you cannot see the leak. What will happen? You will not get the mileage you're expecting out of a full tank of gas. Something similar happens in electric vehicle again. The chemical energy from the battery is converted to electrical energy, transported to the motor through cables, and then motor converts it into electrical energy that moves the car. Mechanical energy that moves the car. So now two energy conversions are involved, plus transportation of energy. All of that contribute to the losses. The result is that it takes longer time to charge the car, and you do not get the full mileage out of it. Now imagine if we could reduce the losses. You will get faster charge time, longer driving range, and lower cost per mile. The good news is that you do not have to imagine this. At Allegro, we are making this happen. Let me introduce Allegro's isolated gate driver, AHV 85110. It's essentially acts as a traffic cop. Instead of directing traffic, it directs electric power coming from the grid, through the charger, to the battery, to the motor that runs the car. It only allows the power to go where it needs to go, in the amount it needs to go. thereby conserving energy. And just as a traffic cop will make sure that vehicles and pedestrians are separated, our product also makes sure that the driver that can access low voltage electronic systems, such as displays, radios, or seat electronics, is safely kept away from these high voltage circuits. How do we achieve this efficiency? So traditionally, this function is done with a lot of components. And our customers had the task of making all these components work in unison. So they need to connect these things up, design them, and that process not only is cumbersome, but uses more energy. We have created a patented, unique technology that's called Power-Through that integrates multiple components and functions cost-effectively and efficiently. The result is 66% fewer components, much smaller system size and weight, that in turn contributes to the vehicle mileage, and 55% lower energy consumption compared to traditional systems. The result is drive further, charge faster with Allegro's isolated gate drivers. Every time there is energy conversion, our gate drivers play an essential role. We purposely designed these devices to be tiny to reduce the size of the system, but the impact on our day-to-day life is truly huge. There are about 80 million electrical cars. There are about 80 million electrical vehicles potentially made in future. Today, it's a combination of gas vehicles and electric vehicles. Let's say only 2 million of those use our technology. It will save sufficient energy to power tens of thousands of households for an entire year. When used for energy harvesting in solar applications, our products improve the throughput for solar systems, thereby generating more energy from an installed base as well as new installations, making the green energy affordable, accessible, and cheaper. Every communication service we use, every transactional service we use depends on data centers. Data centers use tremendous amount of energy. Using our technology, a typical cost of data center is reduced by tens of thousands of dollars per year, as well as the carbon footprint is reduced by more than 10,000 kilograms per year. We are headquartered in Manchester, New Hampshire, where 400 plus innovators every day focus on innovation with purpose to make energy conversion more efficient, conserve energy, and make a more sustainable future. Drive further, charge faster with Allegro's isolated gate drivers. And I would really like to thank New Hampshire Tech Alliance for giving us this opportunity to share this exciting product with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Vijay. 2 down, 3 to go. I'd now like to welcome Bill O'Sullivan from Sheehan Finney, who will introduce our next finalist.
Sheehan Finney is proud to sponsor the 2023 Product of the Year event. This event highlights the innovation, creativity, and vibrancy of New Hampshire's tech sector. As business and technology attorneys, we are fortunate to be able to provide legal services and counseling to these types of companies and see the positive impact that their groundbreaking innovations have on New Hampshire's economy and beyond. To further promote our partnership and commitment to the New Hampshire tech ecosystem, Sheehan recently launched its new Boost program, specifically tailored to meet the legal needs of New Hampshire tech startups, enabling those startups to work toward their goals with a solid legal foundation in place. As a returning member of the New Hampshire Tech Alliance's Product of the Year Committee, I'm excited to introduce the next finalist in this year's competition, Matt Harris, Director of Product Design at Geophysical Survey Systems, to tell us about the Flex NX.
Thank you. So GSSI is located in picturesque Nashua, New Hampshire, where we designed, build, and distribute world-leading ground-penetrating radar equipment, otherwise known as GPR. Now, the first thing you might be asking yourself is, what the heck is GPR? Well, GPR is a technology that allows us to see the unseen. It consists of an antenna, and it consists of a medium. In this case, the medium happens to be a concrete slab in our training facility. And in that slab, we have a variety of what we call targets. It could be rebar like you have right here, or maybe a plastic pipe. Now, the idea is the antenna will send radar signals into that medium. That signal will then bounce off those targets and reflect back to the antenna. And if we move that antenna across the surface, what we get is an image. Now, we can tell all kinds of things from this image. We can tell where the targets are located, we can tell how deep they are, and we can even tell if they're metallic or non-metallic. Now, you can imagine all the different applications where this technology might be useful. It could be used at maybe an archaeological site like Machu Picchu, or maybe it's used to locate utilities at Mount Rushmore, or perhaps you just want to measure some snow depth in Nepal. I mean, really, the possibilities are endless. But one of the main applications for GPR happens to be the construction industry, and specifically with regards to concrete and concrete sawing and drilling. And the reasoning is the stakes are just so high. I mean, what if this was an airport or maybe a hospital, and somebody wanted to drill a hole in that concrete, and they happened to hit any one of these targets? Not only would that be a bad day for the individual and potentially cause major harm, it could also bring down the facility and have a major impact on our society. And just to illustrate how bad this actually is, here you go. So this is not atypical. This is what a common slab would look like inside, and not a lot of people realize that much is going on. And that's where FlexNX comes in. FlexNX is GSSI's next handheld concrete GPR system. Now, the idea is somebody would bring Flex, they'd come out to the site, and they would do the same thing we did with the start of the presentation. They would mark out all where the targets are. They would then recommend maybe where that person might want to drill their hole. That person then is able to safely and accurately drill that hole, and everybody's happy and everybody's safe. Now, when we designed Flex, there are three main tenements we wanted to follow, and these tenements are something we follow in all of our products. It has to be simple to use, it has to be flexible for all different types of situations, and first and foremost, it has to be accurate and it has to be reliable. With regards to simplicity, we wanted to design an all-in-one device, meaning we wanted somebody to just be able to grab it out of the truck, turn it on, and start scanning. In addition to that, we've always also integrated two separate antennas, and we call them channels. The reason we do this is it allows the user to get two different perspectives of the same target at the same time in a single pass. In addition to that, we also integrated 6 laser line indicators to help the user mark the center of a target, regardless of which channel they're going to be using. Also, Flex has wireless built-in capability that allows them to cast the user interface to any tablet, phone, or computer. And the reason this is important, it's very common for a new user to not be left alone on a site for the first 3 months to 6 months, really, again, because the stakes are so high. So this allows them to have their work shadowed, whether it's a few feet away or even on the other side of the world. With regards to flexibility, our users have no idea what type of job they might be doing that day. They might be asked to clear an area this size, or they might be asked to crawl inside an HVAC chase and maybe mark out some locations on a wall. Really, you have no idea. So the system had to be designed to be able to accommodate all those different ergonomic scenarios. So what we did is we have a repositionable handle that allows them to, hold it however they want. In addition to that, that handle can come off. We can add a telescoping pole to allow you to do large areas without having to constantly bend over. And we've also designed this really unique accessory antenna called our NX25. This is what allows our users to do tight spaces, walls, and ceilings, and it's a very lightweight product. In addition to that, that pole can also attach to that. Now, our products are used all over the world, all different types of situations, outdoors. So we're going to see wet environments, we're going to see dark, dirty, dusty environments, and we're going to see extremely cold environments and hot environments. So therefore, our products always have to be designed to be the toughest out there. So we did. So not only did we satisfy all these torture tests, but we also built the product with long-lasting lithium-ion batteries to really last all day. Now, just to illustrate how serious and the testing went with this is an example. This is our CTO who actually presented here last year. He's on top of our building, and he did his best Rob Gronkowski impression here. He took our NX25 accessory antenna and spiked it right off the asphalt. Now, what you saw flying was actually just the battery. So the unit just suffered a few bumps and scrapes, but we were able to pop the battery in, and it functioned no problem. So again, that could happen in the real world, and somebody could easily finish their job. So We felt like we designed Flex to meet the threshold of what makes a great GSSI product, but we're not done. Flex is designed to be a scalable technology platform. So there's hardware built into the system that's going to allow us to continue on. So we kept coming back to this problem right here. Now, if you were the person on the right and you wanted to just quickly and easily double check your work, or you're the person on the left and you just want to quickly check the work of the person that was done on the right, maybe a week later, we needed a way to quickly and easily do that. So that's why we're introducing Flex Mode. What Flex Mode is, it's a technology mode that we're working on. It's coming soon, and it's a very cool, never been done method. And what happens is, as the user moves the device, we're able to use an onboard camera positioning system to real-time track where Flex is in 3D space. We're able to take this information, merge it with the GPR data that's coming in, and then quickly and easily be able to create an image that really anybody can understand with little to no training. So here you go. Here's the image. It's almost like an X-ray view. You can see the rebar and the cross tension or the cross cables, and then you can even slice your way down through the block. So thank you very much. I know 7 minutes is not a lot of time to cover all the value here, so I do encourage you to check out our website for more information. And I just want to leave with one last image here. This is GSSI, and a lot of hard work, and by a lot of hardworking people went into this product. And we're a small company in a small state doing really big things. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you so much, Matt, for your presentation. Get ready to be inspired by our next finalist, Jack Potvin, founder and CEO of SportsVisio, who will be shedding light about SV Hoops. But first, I'd like to take a brief moment to share a message from our generous sponsor and my employer, Cross Insurance.
What is insurance?
Sure. Insurance transfers certain risks between parties.
Without insurance, the economy would really stop.
In simple terms, insurance is like community.
It's protecting every last asset that somebody has built over a lifetime.
You're in it together. You feel supported.
From the beginning to the end.
What insurance is just taking care of people. It's definitely a way of life.
SportsVisio uses cutting-edge AI to solve the world's most exciting sports problems, specifically starting with the game of basketball, a game that I've played my entire life. And so there's really two primary innovations that go into the SV Hoops product. The first is our revolutionary basketball AI, and the second is our consumer app, the SV Hoops app, which is changing the way that players play the game of basketball. Now, here's a quick look at our tech in action. Essentially, what you're seeing is a visualization of what our AI sees when it analyzes games. And I wanted to quickly also show other applications of our AI as well. And in the bottom right, you can see what we call our AI camera guy, which is following the game using our AI. And so, as I mentioned, I've played basketball my whole life. Ironically, right down the road, I played high school at Pinkerton Academy here in Derry. And I went on to play on the club team at UNH. And I can tell you from personal experience, the SV Hoops app is an absolute game changer, particularly for the analysis of players and for the recruiting era of tomorrow. And so, in my experience, we'd have these long film sessions with our coach where the whole group of guys would get in a room, you'd have this big projector, and you'd all hear the same generic insights. And oftentimes, these sessions would go on for 2 hours, and you'd only get through the first half of a game. And so with SportsVisio, we have automatically clipped plays organized by each individual player. So I'll admit it, I had a bad game a couple days ago. So I'll go in on the Hoops app, and I'll look at my missed jump shots. And I'll see, all right, well, clearly I just wasn't bending my knees enough, and that's why I was missing my jump shots. I didn't have enough power. I'm going to work on that for the next game. Also, we had, despite being a varsity program, really limited breakdown in terms of the analytics and insights that we had about our game. So our assistant coach would do the best he could after our games, often pretty late at night, and he would try to give us the statistics, points, rebounds, maybe steals. But we really would be missing a lot, and often they'd be pretty error-prone. Versus with SportsVisio, we're giving players and teams full box scores, so all of those powerful insights they want about their game, and we're doing it using AI-driven technology that helps us provide that timely and reliable results to teams. Finally, and this is probably my favorite feature we've ever developed, I was getting recruited to play college basketball, and the coach had asked me, do you have a highlight tape? So I had to go into iMovie, watch all 18 of my games over the course of the season and my club season, and pick out the best plays from all of those games. I then, using iMovie, clipped them all together, and I had my highlight tape. In total, that experience took me 100 hours to build and to put together. And with SportsVisio, we have this absolutely magical experience where we're combining all of these highlights, completely no touch for players. So they go into the app, and the highlight tape is waiting for them. It's pretty incredible. Coaches and parents alike, in particular those that may be the stand-in video editor for their players, really love just how much SportsVisio empowers their athletes, and particularly by helping them get that pro-level insight into their game and helping them improve. But SportsVisio isn't just for these highly competitive teams. More relaxed, casual teams and players absolutely love the app as well, particularly because we're bringing this pro-level experience to everybody. So for all levels of the game, whether you are going pro or you just love playing basketball, SportsVisio is really for everyone. And we see it all the time, whether a player wants to go and see their highlights from past games, right? So in the past, they'll talk to their wife. Maybe they want to say, oh, I had this many points, right? I had 10 points. Or they want to show their daughter that sweet behind-the-back pass that they had. SportsVisio allows them to share that experience in a brand new way that they previously weren't able to before. Also, in the social media era, SportsVisio makes it incredibly easy to share all of this personalized content onto your Instagram story, your TikTok reel, or wherever else you want it to go. And as our product lead, one of the things that I've heard most that's made me most proud is players say that once they use SportsVisio, they won't play in a league without it. It really has that much of a significant impact on players in the leagues that they play in. And finally, I just wanted to speak to how accessible the SportsVisio product is. Like we said, we're trying to build the SportsVisio product for everyone. We want everyone to feel like Jason Tatum on the Celtics, right? And so using simply a tripod and smartphones, you're able to set up the SportsVisio setup and record your games and upload them directly into the SportsVisio cloud. So for a baseline of about $25 a game, you don't need to go buy that $1,500 hardware camera due to our setup. Andrew Lufkin, who's a college basketball player, shared that he really loves how Hoops makes it easier for players who may not be that top-tier recruit, but are still great players to get noticed by college coaches. Also, Coach Isaiah at a prep school here in New Hampshire shares that he loves how much easier it makes it for him to highlight his players and promote them to potentially get picked up by colleges. Doug Higgins has a little bit more of a broad, kind of words here, where he really believes that SportsVisio is that next-generation product helping players of all levels better their game. And Doug's invested in Tonal, Fitbit, Overtime, and now SportsVisio. And so I'm really proud of our team. And something that actually pretty significantly sets us apart in the sports tech space is that we are a technical team first. And so our CEO, Jason Syverson, is a serial entrepreneur. Dan Oblinger is our CTO, and Dan has a number of successful exits in the AI and robotics space. And Mike Siebert is our AI lead, who has been a chief scientist focused on AI at BAE. And so we have this fantastic leadership team, in addition to an amazing 30-person team, primarily based right here in New Hampshire, all focused in on solving that problem of how do you use cutting-edge AI for sports. And so we've been fortunate to be embraced by some pretty incredible leaders, including NBA star Duncan Robinson, who's one of our advisors. And for those that don't know, Duncan is actually a New Hampshire native, so he's proud to support his New Hampshire roots. With SportsVisio, we've built a transformative sports experience that is now used by players of various levels across the world. It's been such a joy to be able to share the SportsVisio experience with everyone today, and I hope that you vote SV Hoops as your New Hampshire Product of the Year.
Thank you, Jack. As Julie previously mentioned, the winner of today's competition will have the incredible honor of being featured in the New Hampshire Tech Alliance's display at the Manchester-Boston Regional Airport. This means that their achievement will be showcased for all visitors and travelers to see, a recognition of excellence that extends beyond the confines of our event. We'll watch a short video, and then I'll be joined by Ted Kitchens, who's the Director of Aviation at Manchester-Boston Regional Airport, to introduce our last finalist.
The holidays are hectic enough, and your travel experience shouldn't leave you feeling like a lump of coal. So this year, enjoy hassle-free holiday travel, our gift to you. Because at Manchester Boston Regional Airport, we make travel easy every day of the year. We're easy to get to, we have plenty of affordable parking, and you can easily head home or anywhere else for the holidays. Learn more and find flights at flymanchester.com.
Thank you, Lisa. Manchester Boston Regional Airport is your gateway to easy, stress-free travel. And by flying with us, you are showing your commitment to supporting your local community. We recognize that you have choice when it comes to travel, and we generally appreciate you choosing Manchester Boston Regional Airport for your travel needs. By selecting us, you're not just embarking on hassle-free adventure, you're actively contributing to the growth of your community. Your decision to fly from our award-winning local airport aids in making more flights possible and sustains local businesses that provide well-paying jobs to your fellow citizens. It's not just about reaching your destination. It's about nurturing the impact of our beloved Granite State rather than shipping it elsewhere. To make your travel experience even more convenient, we're excited to announce the addition of a user-friendly booking engine on our website. So head over to www.flymanchester.com and explore the over 200 global destinations, all within one stop from Manchester Boston Regional Airport that our carrier partners provide access to. Or unearth incredible daily fare specials or design your perfect vacation package, which is an ideal gift for your loved ones this season. So sit back, relax, ensure your seat and tray table are in the locked and upright position, and leave the stress of travel behind. Thank you for choosing Manchester Boston Regional Airport. We look forward to making your journey exceptional every time and seeing your dreams take flight. So on behalf of the 2,000 employees at Manchester Boston Regional Airport, I'm thrilled to introduce the last finalists of the Product of the Year competition. Please welcome Jeremy Grimmett, founder and CEO of Rogue Space Systems, who will tell us about Berry 1.
Thank you, Ted. Thank you all for giving me this opportunity to present Rogue. We are Rogue Space Systems, and we build space robots. What everyone has to really understand to start off with is that everyone uses space every single day. Whether it's the time on your phone, whether it's you going to your grandma's house, or even making a cell phone call, or even sending money to someone, it all involves space, and it affects you every single day. Now, it all started off with 2 satellites, but then we figured out exactly how useful they really are. And as a result, there was a company called SpaceX that started launching rockets, and that pace started picking up, and the end result is, today, we have a $547 billion space economy. It's targeted to grow by $40 trillion in 2040. But everything that goes to space is designed to die. And this is not sustainable. More mass was sent to orbit in 2022 than all previous 70 years of space activity combined. It's not sustainable. So the end result is we have a cluster and massive constellation of assets in space. And now we need to develop a sustainable space solution, and it's being demanded. In just the past few years, we've received over $2.5 billion in the industry for in-space servicing contracts, all of this being led by the Space Force, NASA, and the European Space Agency. What Rogue has developed is a suite of spacecraft to go and create a more sustainable ecosystem for inspection, diagnostics, repair, and even servicing. The goal in the future is for us to be able to go and inspect and review satellites and assets in space, help with deployments, remove space debris, and even refueling, and support other functions within the space domain. Now, the result of all of this is an ecosystem of sustainability. We can reuse things, rebuild, repurpose these assets in space. Now, the first thing that Rogue needed to do in order to achieve that goal is develop a lot of technology. But in order to do that, we had to test it in space with sustainability and cost in mind. And as a result of this research, we discovered an opportunity of over $80 billion worth of payload hosting that is needed in the market today. Payload hosting is effectively taking a customer's payload and putting it in our spacecraft and sending it to space for them. So our team got to work. And this is where Barry 1 starts coming in. This is our spacecraft that we've designed to do exactly this. Fortunately, we've been able to actually send it to space, which we're going to talk about in a moment. But it's not just about putting things into a satellite and then sending it to space. It's everything that goes along with it. Building the payload that goes into the satellite. It's integrating it into the satellite and building the satellite itself. And even getting it all the way to the testing to make sure it actually works when it does get to space. Finally, this year, we were able to launch our very first spacecraft, Barry 1. And this is the golden achievement for any space company, and we were happy to be able to do that. Now, after it gets up to space, it's got to deploy. So this is our mission ops, and that's Barry shooting off the rocket right there. That's some celebratory stuff. It's a couple years worth of work. So really proud of this team for being able to succeed in this. So I ask you, and I thank you all for the opportunity, please vote for Barry as Product of the Year for Rogue Space Systems out of Guilford, New Hampshire. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeremy, and to all of our presenters. Now, the moment you've been waiting for, it is time to vote. Our judges have already voted, and now it is your turn. You can vote by scanning the QR code or by going to the link on the screen. The URL is newhampshiretechalliance.org/vote. Click the product you'd like to vote for. Once it's highlighted, make sure to seal in that vote by clicking the check mark on the bottom right-hand side of your screen to submit. Voting will be open for a duration of 5 minutes only, with each person only limited to 1 vote. Let's kick off the live vote now. As you cast your vote, check out last year's winner, MicroSystems, and hear what they've been up to since being named the 2022 Product of the Year winner.
Hi, everybody. I'm Stephanie Baxter, Vice President of Membership and Operations here at the New Hampshire Tech Alliance. I hope you enjoyed the last 5 pitches you saw. At the Tech Alliance, we're lucky to be in touch with all the innovation that's happening here in New Hampshire, and we're happy to have this platform to share it worldwide. With that said, I'm joined with last year's Product of the Year winner, Drew Motter from MicroSystems, won for the TU3. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're just curious, what's been going on with Micros and the TU3 in the last year?
Well, the 2022 Product of the Year win for us was a big deal. It really helped us as a company launch this product that won last year. The TU3 is a mechanism that helps test semiconductors. And so in the semiconductor supply chain, it has become a really helpful technology and enabling technology for not only the client that we developed it for, but then several clients and several different iterations of that technology since then. In the past year, I think I'm remembering last year, the neat part of developing that was, and then coming to the pitch was, you're working as an engineering team on this technology. You're working with your client, and you're iterating. And we called it the TU3 because there was a TU1 and 2 before it, and it was the 3rd iteration of this thermal unit, TU3. But then you wonder, outside of this project, is it really going to take off? Is it going to have any legs outside of this, outside of what we're doing with this particular client? And to present to the Tech Alliance and the tech leaders in the state and in the region, and have that validation to become a finalist, and then do the pitch and go through that process, and then win the award was very validating for us. I also think, too, it was a neat process to help just meet other tech leaders in the state and kind of develop that community, which I think the Tech Alliance is very, very good at help bolstering and bringing people together to share resources. So it's been a good experience for us, and I think it's helped our company and our product launch since then.
Yeah, that's great to hear. So one thing at the Tech Alliance we talk a lot about is innovation and the unique New Hampshire benefits of having a tech company here and innovating here. So we always like to ask people, what do you think the benefits are of having a company in New Hampshire and innovating in New Hampshire? And what benefits are you seeing at Micros?
Yeah, it's a good question. In fact, we will get that question a lot when we work with a lot of Silicon Valley clients who fly from San Francisco to Boston and then take a trip through the middle of New Hampshire to Claremont, where we're located, and they say, how do you get here? And it's really fun to talk about why we love being in New Hampshire. I think I would say it springboards a little bit off of what I said with last year's working with the other contestants in the Product of the Year presentation, and that there's a real sense of community in New Hampshire. And I think the Tech Alliance and the other state organizations that help bolster tech and small business are really good at building that community. But I think there's not a lot of population density in New Hampshire. There's a lot of small businesses, and in fact, that is not actually a detriment. It can be a great benefit in that if as that community is developed, you can reach out to other business leaders pretty easily and have an ear. I remember as we did the pitch camp for last year's presentation, we got to practice all of our pitches to investors and others who do good to help coach pitches. You're meeting, I met some of the other contestants last year. I remember GSSI was one of the contestants last year. They're here again this year, and congrats, guys. I look forward to seeing that pitch and your iterations there on your products. CoreFlex, I remember their pitch, and Driver Technologies and Skyhawk. You're around the table listening to their pitches, and I just was very excited to see all the technology that's happening. You guys are great at pulling out the different ways that technology and innovation is happening around the state. And I remember you and Lisa telling us, if you're a finalist, you've sort of already won. It's a really neat platform to be able to show off your technology not only to the state and the region, but also nationally on this broadcast. But I remember meeting the leaders from those companies and really having a neat connection with them, and then the ability to reach out to them afterward and connect with them if you have a business question or an investment question, or you need to raise some capital, or you even on another vein, we're not very far disconnected from our regional legislators, right? So it's a phone call or two to get to your state senator, your state rep, and the New Hampshire BEA, the Commerce Service, and some of the export services that we've been involved with since winning that Product of the Year. It's reminded me that it's really a neat place to do innovation because you can be agile and nimble. There's a lot of resources and help as you develop these technologies.
Yeah, absolutely. And that makes New Hampshire so unique in that. And you don't see that in other states, the access, the legislators, but the business leaders who are willing to help new entrepreneurs, help existing businesses. Everyone's willing to come together and help each other and take that phone call, take a cup of coffee. It's really unique to New Hampshire, for sure. Yeah. So what is next for the TU3 and Micros, and what's on the horizon for you all?
It's a great question. So again, last year we came with our prototype that had just launched, and one of our last slides I remember in our pitch was to say the technology that's in this semiconductor testing mechanism that we made can be converted to different parts of the testing process for semiconductors, and we've been able to do that. And then it's also was also able to be translated into different form factors for different clients. So a client might say, I need to test this kind of in this part of the process, but I need it to look like this. I need it to fit in this machine or have this form factor. And so we've been able to translate that a lot. And so I think when you're making computer chips, you have to test the silicon before it's diced up, and there's a testing that's involved with that. You have to test it when it's diced and put on a board. Then you have to test it again when it's in the full system. We've been able to translate the TU3 technology to those different avenues. And then, though we developed the initial technology and the initial product with AMD, we've had other major chip manufacturers come to us both domestically and internationally, and been able to work with a lot of different clients on this technology. So it's really taking off, and I would say that the Product of the Year win was a big part of that last year. It helped give us, help get the product known and give us some good press within the state and region and even nationally and internationally. And then it really helped us to take this and realize this can be iterated and built up for a variety of different business development applications. So, yeah,
that's great. Yeah, that's great to hear. Can't wait to hear what's next. So we're going to join back our live broadcast in just a minute. We're just tallying the last-minute votes coming in, and Drew will join us to reveal the recipient of the 2023 Product of the Year. So we'll be back in just a minute. We'll see you soon.
The anticipation is building and the votes have been tallied. I'm thrilled to be joined by Drew Motter, Vice President at Technologies. Drew, without further ado, please do the honors and reveal this year's winner.
All right. Well, truly impressive pitches today, everybody. Congratulations. Congratulations to all who have made it thus far. But now for the winner. So the winner of the 2023 New Hampshire Tech Alliance Product of the Year presentation and competition is Flex NX by Geophysical Survey Systems. Congratulations.
Wow. That's promise not to get emotional this time. But basically, I just want to thank everybody, the New Hampshire Tech Alliance, all the sponsors, and the awesome products that were presented today. Like, I'm blown away. Like, all of this great work coming and innovation coming out of New Hampshire is just unbelievable, and it's great to see. And we're just happy to be part of it. Thank you.
Nice job.
I'll take that.
Congratulations once again to this year's 2023 Product of the Year. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about the innovation coming from New Hampshire. Thank you again to our finalists, sponsors, and volunteers, and have a great night.